Yeah.
Brian Dunlap has a question about a story that I've told repeatedly on the show. Main event Disco Inferno versus Bret Hart. Howdy K100. Before there was a main event, Jey Uso, Disco Inferno was in the main event against Bret Hart. Was researched in early 1999 WCW. Found Disco in a headlining role in the February 25th episode of Thunder. Disco, how was it like to wrestle the Hitman, the main event of a televised WCW show? Do you remember how you two went over the match beforehand? Did Bret have anything to say backstage after the match? Conan, do you have any Bret Hart WCW stories you'd like to share? Does Joe have any inside scoop we don't know about? Oh, yeah, before the Disco versus Hart match, Glenn cut an in-ring promo mocking the Canadian national anthem of the people of Canada for drinking beer, playing hockey because they have nothing better to do, and having worthless currency. Some may suggest this was culturally insensitive and very disrespectful. What do you think? Yeah, I used to cut the promos on the Canadian. If I wrestled a Japanese guy or a foreigner, I would cut a promo on the match. Very racist.
Right.
And you still hate Canada.
Insensitive. But I will say this. I've told the story a million times. You get to the building. I was doing the NWO thing with Scott Hall and Nash and stuff. Everything, and Bret was part of the mix of the WCW guys and Flair and all. Bro, they had me down wrestling for 23 minutes, and I was buds with Kevin and stuff. Everything, but I felt like going dude, why? Bret wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy about it. He wasn't he was very cold going over the match with me. Very and so in the match,
you know what it almost felt like. It almost felt like when. In his stay in WCW, I don't know if you got this vibe, but it's almost like he didn't want to be there.
Right. He didn't like what they were doing with him, period. He was sulking.
Right.
Okay.
That's
the best way to describe it. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But during the match, we're only 12 minutes into the match, and this is the main event. And this is a taped Thunder that has to air. He puts me in the sharpshooter, way too early. I guess he was just sick of wrestling me stuff because the match wasn't that great. He was just eating me alive, and I figured we're pacing this because we got to go 23 minutes, right? But he was eating me alive. I didn't get much offense in, and then he put me in the sharpshooter. The referee is literally telling me don't tap out, okay? and the referee is not, I don't tap out. He said don't tap out. You got 10 minutes left, and I'm like, I felt like going the rip, but I'm in the sharpshooter, so I can't say, bro, go tell him that. He's got me the shield, but I'm in the sharpshooter selling it, but I'm not tapping out. Bret lets go with the sharpshooter. He picks me up and says, "What are you doing?" I mean, I was supposed to tap out. I'm in his finish, but I can't convey to him that the referee's telling me do not tap out because in his earpiece they're saying don't tap. You got 10 more minutes left, and Bret picked me up and dropped me on took me for suplex and dropped me on my neck because he was. And then we went a few minutes more.
What happened after the match?
I was fine, but you could watch it. He was trying to hurt me.
No, but did the agents tell him anything hey, man, what are you doing?
No, I just went to the back. It's whatever. It's just,
No, the agents. It was you telling the agents. The agents seen the match.
For the were no agents. Remember, that was a show that Kevin and Sullivan and went. They took they took the jet, the private jet, because it was leaving early and they left before the show.
Oh, they left early. Okay.
Right. And then I think Hall came to me and said, what the f*** is that?
Too, that they left.
Hall was there, and Hall came to me. That I was like, dude, I'm, because he was he wasn't on best terms with Bret. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't say anything to him. But it was we both knew it. It was booked to be a and it turned out to be. It just wasn't right. It was not an enjoyable experience because you grow up watching Bret Hart. I'm a huge fan of the guy's work. I would have liked that.
And then the guy just
they book us in a thing where there's no angle or anything, it's just whatever.
Right.
So,
but he doesn't have to take it out on you.
Right. So it was probably a way to needle Bret then because they weren't getting along with Bret takes really seriously, put him down for 23 minutes with Disco, who he probably thinks is Disco's kind of a comedy wrestler. I should beat him in 8 minutes or something. What the f- is this?
Very well could have.
That was the point.
Very well could have.